Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer Ngumalo. I do hope that you join us by clicking that red subscribe button on the bottom, and also don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. That is if you like the content that we serve in this channel. So on today's video, I'm bringing you guys my monthly reset. I've always said this is one of my favorite videos to watch and to create, because there's just something about planning for a month ahead that makes you look forward to that month and also really think about that month and what you would like to achieve. And so on today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys through my December monthly reset, and I've already started planning for it. I've already planned for it. And so what I'm going to do first, before we get into December, we're first going to review November. How did November go and what did we achieve, so that we can actually go into December knowing exactly what are we doing. So I'm gonna go back to my journal, my handy dandy journal. I've already said this, I always say this, I got this journal from Take a Lot. So what you do is when these inserts finish, you just replace them and buy new ones. So I've already finished my initial 2 sets, so I bought new ones, and that's where my December planning is at. But let's just go through my November monthly resets, and then we'll just browse through it first before we start with December. As for November, I had 4 categories of my goals. I had personal, YouTube, health, and financial. And so we're gonna go through each and every one of them and see which one did we actually achieve. And then while we're going through that, we're also going to tick those things as well. So the first one is to continue with therapy. I didn't do this in the month of November, and the reason why I didn't do that is because my resources were slightly stretched in November. There was just a lot going on and a lot to save for, and so that one didn't happen. And then also another thing is to read one book. The second thing that I wanted to do was to read one book. I actually didn't do this as well because I didn't have a new book to read. And then prioritize self-care. I did this in my own way. As I always say, self-care for me, I define it in my own way, and I do what works for me. So I would say that I did prioritize my self-care this month in November. And then let's get into the YouTube goals. So for YouTube, my goal was to reach 4,500 subscribers in the month of November, and we did this early on in November. Like literally we reached this and we surpassed it. We are so close to the goal, which is for 2022, which was to reach 5,000 subscribers. So as we're speaking, we have around 4,800 and something subscribers on YouTube. And then when it comes to health goals, I wanted to drink more water. I've been trying to do this. I think what I need to do is I need to get myself a bigger bottle so that I can commit to actually finishing that bottle in a day and maybe top it up, because if I use glasses, sometimes I just forget. But I do drink water. I try my best to drink water. I think I fail on this part when I'm here at home, but when I'm at work, I actually do drink water. And then continue working out. I've been doing this, even though I haven't been doing it like 3 times a day or 3 times a week. Sometimes it will be 2 times, sometimes it will be 3 times, but I've really been pushing myself with this. And then financial, I wanted to save for Ekapa, and I did that. And then book for driving lessons. I did book for driving lessons, and I actually started. My driving has really improved, such that I'm confident enough to take my daughter to school and also collect her sometimes. I'm even able to drive to the nearest, shopping place, not even shopping center, but shopping place, like a store. I'm able to do that. And then so my driving has really improved. So I still have 2 lessons to do, and I'm gonna do those. And then my goal is to make sure that in January I'm confident enough on the road that I'm able to take my daughter to school, because where she's gonna be starting school next year, it's a little bit far from where we stay, so there is no way of walking. So I wanna just make sure that I really hone in my lessons, so that if an opportunity comes where I'm able to drive, then I will drive. Guys, by the way, I don't have a car, so please don't assume that me saying this means that I have a car. I don't have a car. I don't own a car. And then another goal that I have for financial is to save for December. Now, when it comes to December, I already saved up around 1,800 and something, and so that is how much I have, and I did top it up when I got paid in November, and so I just need to top it up in December, and then I'll be good. That was November for me. Then let's get into my budget. I did actually take you guys through this when I was doing one of my daily vlogs in the spend a day with me when I was going to work, and I also had a payday routine there. I took you guys through me paying for my bills, and so I'm just gonna roughly go through it and just talk about the things that were different in the month of November. So firstly, when I initially budgeted in my income, I did not put the money, the cycle to the people I did not put stokvel, the 2001, where it was supposed to go, and so I needed to amend that. And then my emergency fund, I ended up putting 1,215 instead of 1,210, and then so it was slightly more by 40 rands. And then for school fees, we've already paid for that. We paid for that. So this month in November, we paid for 2 school fees. The first one was the school fees where my daughter is at currently. So we paid for that. And then we also paid for the school that she's going to for the registration for next year. So we paid school fees twice this month. And so that is also the reason why I couldn't even think about things like therapy and so on. And then water and electricity turned out to be slightly less because I had budgeted 1,200, but then I ended up paying, the bill came back as 800, but it came back as 800, and that's how much I paid. And then for rates and levies, I had budgeted 980, but then I went ahead and paid 1,000, which is extra by 20 rands. But then the bill came back as 874. So they're gonna credit me for the amount. They're going to credit me for the amount that is extra. And so I think the bill is going to come back as 830 or something. I think when I checked it was around that much. And then we have my life cover. Normally I budget 270. And that is because that's how much I remember going to create this life cover. It was that much. So I don't know if it goes down over time or what, but they take 235. And then what else is there that changed? Okay, I had budgeted for driving lessons, so this I had to cancel because I paid for this upfront before I got paid, so I didn't need to budget for that. So that was my budget for November, and I can say that we did stick to it. We didn't go over budget. We did stick to it. However, as you know, guys, that I work for government, and because we're given that percentage of increase, the 3%, and when you say 3%, guys, it may sound like it's a lot. It's not. That percentage did help some way. It did help some way. It did bump up my budget a little bit, I think by 400 and something. And so that went to other things as well. But I really have detailed plans for next year, for 2023, and I'm gonna take you guys through those in 2023 when I do my monthly reset or when I do my plans for the year. Since we are done with November, let us go ahead and look at December. What are the intentions for December? What are our goals? And also, how am I planning my finances? But I think we're gonna go back to my normal setup, so come along. We are going to be doing the second part of this video, a second part of my monthly reset, which is planning for December. Now, as I said, I've already planned for December, and this is my setup. And we are just gonna go through. I'm just gonna take you guys through the things that I'm actually planning for in December. But I think the first thing, before we get into our goals, we first have to talk about Vlogmas. Now, I did talk about this in one of my weekly vlogs. However, I realized that video is going to come after this one, and so that is why it's important for me to talk about this right now. So I'm planning to do Vlogmas. I love Vlogmas. I love watching Vlogmas. I just love watching vlogs during December, and the reason why for me is because December as a time where I really chill. I'm not as much busy as I would if, let's say, I'm waking up and going to work. So I really enjoy vlogs in December, and I really want to participate this year. And my goal is to post more frequently, even though I feel like my channel is very consistent in terms of posting frequently. I post twice a week already. I post on Sunday, and I also post on Wednesday. However, for Vlogmas, I think I'm going to do even more than that. So my plan is I am going to vlog. I'm going to post not just vlogs. There will be sit down videos there and there, because my channel is a mixture of vlogs and sit down videos. And so there will be vlogs for sure, and then there will also be sit downs there and there. However, I'm going to be posting from the beginning of December until the until the 22nd, and then after that I'm going to take a break. So from the 27th, after that video on the 22nd, or let's say latest it will come on the 23rd, depending on when it is ready. However, that week of the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, that's gonna be my last video that I'm gonna post for 2022. So the week of Christmas leading up to the end of the year, I'm not gonna be posting anything. I'm gonna be taking a break, because normally Vlogmas does end on the 25th. So on the 25th there will be the last video that you post, but I'm not gonna post any video on the 25th, because I feel like 25th is just the time that you spend with family, and the last thing that I want to be doing is posting a video on Christmas. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I'm not gonna post anything from 25th going forward until the end of 2022, and then we'll start posting again in 2023. So my plan is I'm going to skip one day. I'm not going to give myself a number of videos that I'm going to do. I'm also not going to post every day, because that for me is a stretch. And it also means that I don't want to do 10-minute vlogs. I don't like 10-minute vlogs. I can watch them from someone else, but I'm not gonna do that for my channel. So what I'm planning to do is, instead of posting every day, I'm not gonna do that. I'm also not gonna post twice a week. So I think that the most practical way is that I'm gonna post 3 times a week instead of 2. 3 times a week. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be skipping. So if I post on Sunday, I'm gonna skip Monday, and then Tuesday I'm gonna post, skip Wednesday, Thursday, and then I post, skip Friday and Saturday, post on Sunday, because I just feel like Sunday work perfectly for me when it comes to posting content. Beginning of December, there's a video that will go up on Friday, on the 2nd of December. But after that, on Friday and Saturday, we're not gonna have any videos. However, basically we're gonna have videos that I know for sure that is going to be on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. That is my plan going into Vlogmas. So I wanted to take you guys through that so that you know what to expect. So let us get into my December goals. Now for my December goals, I just wanted to take it lightly. And I wrote a statement here for myself just to remind myself what I'm intending to do for December. So I said here, this month, my biggest goal is to relax, prioritize myself and my sanity, and put more effort in things that bring me joy, spend time with people I love and that love me back. For me, this is a statement to remind myself that this is something that I want to prioritize for myself for December. I'm not going to have as much goals. I don't want to be working towards a lot of things in December. More so things that I want to do in December, things that are going to pour into me rather than to give out. When I say here, to put more effort in things that bring me joy, things like YouTube, my home. Like, I want to just put my effort in my home, put more effort in creating content for you guys for December, because YouTube does bring me joy, and then spend time with people that I love and that also love me back. And then I have personal goals, health, and financial. Now for personal goal, I want to read one book. Now I already purchased one book and I started reading it yesterday, and this is the book that I purchased. It is Atomic Habits by James Clear. So there is a book that I'm going to be reading in December, and I'm looking forward to reading it. But I realized that, you know what, I was honestly enjoying my fiction, and so I'm gonna get a fiction book for January. Like, I know January is the month that you want to work on yourself, do all the stuff. But in January, I don't want that pressure. And so I'm going to be working on myself in December, and I'm going to be cultivating the habits that I want to, maintain starting January. And that is why I felt like this book is fitting to read right now in December. And then January, I'm going to be reading fiction, because the last thing I want is to be reading a book that is telling me that I need to change something about myself. That is too much pressure starting a new year. And then protect my peace. That is something that I really want to do this month. And then health goals. For health goals, I want to exercise, so continue exercising. I also want to drink water. These are going to be standard, guys, and because these are reminders to myself, even though I do these things every month, but they are reminders that you promised that you are going to exercise. You promised that you're going to drink water. You need to do this for yourself. And so that is how I think about this. And then lastly, for financial, I have no savings target, nothing for December. However, what I wrote here is that going into 2023, I need to plan for my finances for 2023. So going into the next year, I need to start planning for my finances this month, which is December. So that is what I am intending to do when it comes to my goals. So my goals are very simple, straight and forward. I didn't want to put a lot of things to work towards, but I wanted to make sure that I remind myself that my sanity, my peace of mind is very important. The last thing that I need right now is to be stressing, is to be having some anxiety, because like I did not even put a budget for a therapist this month. And so in order for me to avoid being in a space whereby I feel like I need help, is to just try and make sure that I cultivate a space whereby my peace and sanity is protected. Because if I don't, people are not going to do it for you. Like no one is going to do it for you but yourself. Then let's get into my December budget. So what I did this time around, I'm going to put a video up here. Let me actually scoot here. So I'm going to put a video up here so that you guys see what I'm talking about. So when it comes to my savings, when it comes to my budget this time around, I saw this last month that I really need an actual column. I need an actual column. So I already normally have a budget column. However, I needed an actual column, so that I see what my actual spending is. Because normally I will budget and then there will be some variation when it's time to pay, and so I need to actually document that so that I can track it. So that is something that I did differently for this month, and I'm gonna take that into 2023 as well, because I think it will help for me to track exactly how much that I spend in conjunction with how much I budgeted. And so my savings this month is they're still gonna stay relatively the same, which is my emergency fund, education fund, my sister, Stockfell. That is the last person that we are contributing to for December. And then I'm also gonna save for December because I need to top up the 1,800. My initial plan was for money for December is money that I know that it's going to assist us when I'm at home. So to buy groceries and all the stuff, because I know that it does end up weighing heavily on me. And so I wanted to plan for that. But you know what? I just told myself now, like recently, when I realized that, you know what? If you don't prioritize your own peace, if you don't take care of yourself, no one else will, because everyone else cares about themselves and not other people. So I decided that my December fund, even if I don't spend all of it, my goal is not to spend all of it. And my goal is not that I'm going to spend it only at home, but I can spend it here in my house. If I decide that, okay, I want to decorate for Christmas for my daughter because she's been asking for that, that's what I'm going to do. If I decide that I want to buy something for my house, that's what I'm going to do. Like, it's not money that I'm going to now only spend at home for groceries. It's money that I can spend in December on anything that I feel like I want to spend it on. It's my money at the end of the day. And then for January, I also want to save for that. So even though we do have stokvel that pays out in January, but that stokvel, we decided that we're gonna use it to pay the entire school fees for our daughter, so that we don't have to worry about that on a month-to-month basis. And so I want to save for January, so I'm going to save for that. Another thing that is going to be changing for December, the last person we're going to pay for stokvel, the 2001, that's the last person. However, going to 2023, I'm not going to be playing as much stokvel. I'm not going to be part of as much stokvels. I'm going to be on part of one, and these big ones, Mholiswane, I'm not going to be part of such, because I find that I don't plan very well for my money, and I end up not using the money in a way that I see its value. And so instead of doing that of umholiswane and rotation of money, a rotation of hands, I'm actually going to set clear goals for my money and save for it. And so that is my goal for 2023. And then for my expenses, they're relatively going to stay the same, but I don't think we are going to be paying for school fees, because I think for school fees, we don't pay for the previous month, we pay for the month ahead. I think so. I don't know, but I didn't budget for it. But if there's a need, if they say that we need to pay for it, if they say that the money that we paid now in November is not for December, we need to pay for December, then I will put it in there. But I didn't put it in there because I'm thinking we are done for the year, but we'll see about that. And then for everything else, it will remain the same, except that at the end there, I put me in capital letter, me. And when I say me, like I put only 500 rands. I think I can find something to do for me that is worth 500 rands or less in December. So it might be that I go and do my nails, or I go and do a facial, or I do whatever. But it has to be within 500 rands. And I never used to put me in my budgets. I've never actually put me in a budget. But you know what? I'm going to do that going forward. I'm going to do that because it's very important that I do that. So that is my budget for this month. In terms of my weekly allocation, guys, I'm just not sure, because some of the days we're not going to be here. Some of, in December, some we're going to be here. And so in terms of my spending for the weeks, I don't know, but I just put roughly in there that this is how much you're going to spend, but we'll see how it happens, how it rolls out. But for now, that's how it's going to be. And when I calculated everything together, I am within budget, like I am within my salary. So that is a good thing. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that you are also going to be planning for December. December is a very tricky month. So you have to make sure that you have clear plans for your money, because if you don't tell your money where it's going to go, someone else is going to tell you where it's going to go. And especially in December, your family will tell you where your money is going to go in December. And so try to make sure that before you go home, you've set up a budget, you've set up a plan on how much are you willing to spend at home, how much are you willing to spend for this and that, so that you try and make sure that you stay within budget, so that you can protect your peace financially and make sure that when you start January, you are not broke. And so with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Please take care and stay safe. Bye.